Without the proper web presence, your business is bleeding money. Stop the hemorrhaging with the edge of the web and Aaron Sparks.
Boy, that's a big graphic, but ain't the truth. I mean, if you're actually running a PPC campaign, and if you're not paying attention to it, if you just throw a bunch of keywords up there, you know, and start some bids and start some traffic, you're setting a budget daily, and if you're not looking at it, you could be bidding on some words that aren't even part of your strategy, aren't even useful for the consumers, but you're getting into a market that doesn't even want your product.
That's right.
I mean, it's at that point in time, you are bleeding cash. I mean, paid ads can be a nosebleed type of marketing solution, and what we're here to do today is to talk to you a little bit about how to improve that. Now, we're assuming that you've gone through, like last week, we instructed you how to actually set up a pay-per-click campaign. And if you're not familiar with that, that is the paid ads are on the side and on the top of a search engine result page. Okay, you've got the map they may put in there, and you have the organic results, which is really the true area you want to be in organic. But if you don't have those organic positions, paid ads give you that immediate rocket fuel of leads coming in and traffic coming in first. Leads come at the landing page or at the pages that they're tying into. But if you're not accurately getting these ads in front of the audience that you're trying to gain attraction with, then you're throwing money out the window. And that's what we're talking about today. Understanding successful PPC needs some maintenance and testing. So you've set up your ad campaign. You've set up these different ad groups. The ad groups can be tied to specialized services that you have. So it gives you the ability to kind of segment your audience and put them in. So if you're in a sports equipment retail store,
yep,
right, and you're selling different product, you can literally have an ad group for football equipment, an ad group for volleyball equipment. There's no end to how many different things you. The reason you do that is if you mash them all together, then you really can't get that much good empirical data about how well one ad's running as opposed to another, because you're bidding all the words into the same pool. So they give you the ability to segment all this out. Okay. Part of the tools here are setting up the campaign is looking at different key phrases based on your own research and your own knowledge of your service, and you put those into these different ad groups. And then you also have these text ads. There's a number of different ads also that are in the paid campaign, but you have these text ads that you draft and create good promotional content that will then, after that text ad is clicked, it'll result in your web page. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to take a couple steps back and doing some PPC terms and just go through them briefly. We got click-through rate. What is a click-through rate?
Click-through rate is basically it's the amount of times that your ad is actually seen compared to the amount of times they're actually clicked. It's an easy division, and it gives you an idea of how effective that ad is. Now, we're assuming a couple things. One, you're in the right audience, okay? And two, your ad's attractive. And this rate gives you that perspective. As if you have a very low click-through rate, and we're looking at if it's under a percentage point, okay, and if it's 0.01% or less, your ad is being presented in front of an audience that most likely is not really either your qualified audience or they're not liking what they see on the ad.
Yeah, and to that point, there is different click-through rates for different platforms, such as Facebook versus Google AdWords.
That's right. That's right.
Conversion rate.
Conversion rate is whenever somebody clicks on that text ad and they get to your page, okay, you want them to do something. You're just not showing the page for just the reason I'm showing the page. You want them to fall into a bucket. Either an email sign up or more importantly, buying that widget that you're advertising, or if you're professional services, a lead generation. Okay.
Right.
How you calculate that conversion is with a tool that's called Conversion Script that Google AdWords provides you that you can put on the thank you page, the receipt page. Whenever they do go through that transaction, that will fire and talk back to AdWords and let AdWords know that lead that you sent me through this word that lead went through our transaction funnel to an eventual conversion. Okay, so conversion is whatever you want them to do, but it's very important that you track that because otherwise you have no idea whether the campaign is effective or not. Now, you could possibly correlate it, but this is a science. So having those tools in place are very, very important.
Okay. Cost per click.
Cost per click briefly is after you have conversion, then you know that I spent so much on all of these leads, and out of those clicks, X number actually fell into a conversion. So out of every conversion, it gives me the understanding of how much money I had to pay on average for that conversion. So that gives me my understanding of if my margin on my product can suffice to actually pay for that cost per conversion, then I've got a good return on investment. But if I'm selling a widget at $60 online and the cost for getting one sale was $120, I mean that's a very high cost per conversion, and I've got to rethink how the ads and who I'm delivering to.
Right. Okay. Impressions.
Impressions are how many times your ad is actually seen.
And long tail keywords kind of go into the fact that some keywords are more expensive than others.
That's right.
And the long tail keywords are a little bit more of a longer phrase, like, where would I go to vacation in Europe?
Right.
Let's say that's my query. That'd be a long tail, and that would probably be cheaper because there's less people that are going to find that word or looking for that word.
As opposed to the word vacation.
Right.
So you have a lot more traffic on vacation, the phrase vacation, but not nearly as tied into what you're trying to advertise on.
Right.
Okay? So
negative keywords?
Keywords, and that's whenever you start maturing the actual PPC campaign, there's going to be a lot of phrases that you don't want to be seen by. So we have a client that does, in Indianapolis, they do blind repair, shutter repair, and custom blind installation.
Right.
Really good company, IndianaBlinds.com. We're running their paid ad campaign, and what we're doing is also filtering and filtering traffic that we don't want. We don't want their ad to come up whenever somebody types in the search for Shutter Island, which is a movie just recently, right?
That's right.
And we saw that there was some traffic that we actually picked up with our Shutters campaign. That was obviously not tied to what we're trying to do, so we actually put that filter in. So anytime our ad that search query comes up, we're making sure that our ad does not come up. So as much as you want to promote into different ad terms, you want to also get away from terms that are going to cost you.
Right. And just to go back, we're talking about a weekly maintenance to add those negative keywords, to add those keywords to the account. You want to just keep it going, and it's always going to keep needing refinement.
That's right. That's right. You just can't let it go on cruise control because, I mean, you're letting money just fly out the window.
That's right.
Constant improvement on click-through rates, conversion rates. And we're going to tell you how to improve your click-through rate right now. Going into understanding match types of key phrases is very important. You can go broad. You can go like the word vacation. That's going to pull in everything under the sun, and a lot of it's not going to be anything applicable to you. Okay? Refining that, you can actually, if you had a couple of different phrases, let's say European vacation, right? Mm-hmm. If it was broad, anybody typing in vacation would find your ads. So you want to pull that away and just bid on people that are typing in at least the phrase. It could be a 5-word phrase, but at least European and vacation need to be there. Okay?
Right.
And that's where we go into from a broad match to a phrase match. It doesn't have to be in the exact pairing up of the word, but at least needs to have that representation in what somebody's typing in. Okay? That gives you a little bit more refinement. And then we go into exact match. We go into exact match where we're looking at the exact phrase that we want to have somebody type in. So you're moving away from the larger audience, but we're getting more and more paired up to what we're looking for. Now, you have your that's where you have to mature your campaign and look for more and more unique phrases and match them to particular ads. Okay, improving your click-through rate as well, making sure that you avoid those very very general terms, and focus the targeted keywords that you're typing, that you're bidding on, describing your products. Okay, not a general concept, but the product or service that they're looking for.
Yeah, jumping ahead a little bit, you want to make that CTA the call to action. You want to put a local reference in that ad. You want to do a phone number, offer something in the ad. You want 15% discount, 10% discount. We see a lot of great ROIs on ads that show the percentage discounts. Keyword reference in that ad. That's important. And, we're not going to touch on everything in a PPC campaign, but quality score is one of those factors that Google uses, and it actually measures how well you actually pair up everything that's needed in an ad and dial it in and get that going, get that person to click on it to go to the exact destination that you're promoting.
And that landing page itself needs to reflect what you've been bidding on. So if you have a text ad that doesn't have anything to do with the page that they're coming to, then you're dealing with a dissonance, and people are going to bounce, and subsequently Google's going to give you a lower score on that particular ad.
Right.
All right, I tell you what, we're going to talk about clicks and conversions coming up at right after this break. We're talking from 1430 News Talk, 1430 WXNT. More conversion talk coming up, as well as understanding what are we going to do. Well, we'll let you think about that. Come on back.